Hello everybody, welcome back to Agrarian Skies 2. I'm gonna probably just work on quests for a little bit in this episode. I've got the Thaumcraft and Blood Magic areas looking pretty good up here. I had a little bit of zombie trouble in between episodes, but that's cleared up now. Um, Still got to upgrade this to a tier 2 altar at some point. I've got to make a lot more runes for that to happen, but it's coming along. So I'm going to take a little break and go do something else in the way of questing. I did open this up. I thought the area just looked cooler with kind of some skylights going on, at least until I get the rest of the altar done. And I was thinking I might swap out these sandstone blocks for glass as I build that out. But we'll see what that looks like. But I just thought that looked pretty cool, and wanted to share that. So anyway, I don't think there's much in here. I did replace the torches with Nitor. Yeah, it looks cool. I'll eventually replace out here. I think I'm going to go with glowstone illuminators. I did teach the ME system how to build those, so it's there's quite a bit involved. But to build a glowstone illuminator, you do an illuminator frame. The illuminator frame uses hardened glass and signalum, nether quartz, and then you fill the whole thing with glowstone. But anyway, the system does know how to build those at this point. So I'm gonna have it make 10, just while we're doing other things. But in terms of questing, learning Skyblock is pretty much done, except for this Dimensional Explorer, and I've got to go figure out how to make portals into those dimensions. Sky Farm, I noticed a new quest had opened up at some point around passive mobs, and it notes that passive mobs are now hostile. Really? Yeah, I noticed that. But one of the things it wants is 6 raw beef. We have 14. For some reason it just didn't detect them, but oh, it actually wants them to be submitted, so probably going to lose those. Yep, they're gone. We get a cow egg and either a chicken egg or a skillet. I think I'll take the chicken egg just because I'm pretty sure I've got a skillet, don't I? Yeah, I've got a skillet. So yeah, let's take the chicken egg. Just for fun. And I already have 3 spawn cows in there, a pig, and a blizz. I'll put the chicken in there just as a backup, and the cow as well, because I kind of already have cows and chickens over here. See? There they are. 1 chicken. 2 chickens. Very good. Next up, did that unlock anything? It did. Increasing the horde. The Jaded wasn't sure why you would want more pesky chickens, but just in case you do, try infusing an egg. Okay, an incubated egg. From Thaumic Horizons, so chances are good that is in the Thaunomicon. Alright, we've got some research to do here. By soaking the seeds of common food crops in concentrated essence of light, water, and soil, plants can be grown with astonishing speed. Okay, interesting. Carrots, potatoes, melons, pumpkins. Okay. Now, alchemical incubation. We need 2, not quite sure what that is, but two of that one, Victus, which is water plus Terra. Water, Terra. We should have 2 Victus now. We do. Okay, after the success of archipelagics, applying a similar process to the animals seems to be the logical next step. Turning a chicken egg with warmth and raw life energy guarantees that the embryo within will survive when the egg is opened. Better yet, by limiting the process to the chicken's infancy, you seem to have solved the rather rapid aging which plagued your crops. So we put 2 Ignis and 2 Victus in the crucible with an egg, and we get an incubated egg. Okay, I'm going to have to get that going. So I'm going to go grab some stuff to do that in the furnace and limbics, and we'll be back. Alright, I'm back. So I've got a lot of things built up to do that. I'm waiting on this node to recharge. So let me show you what's going on. To make the egg that we need, we learned that we need to put it in with 2 Ignis and 2 Victus. To get those things, we need to find something that contains them. So to find Ignis, the easiest thing I found for that was coal. It contains 2 Ignis. So if we burn up 1 coal, we should get 2 Ignis and 2 Potentia. Is that it? I think so. Misclicked there. If we burn 32 of them, we'll get 64. 64 is a stack. That's good. That fits in a jar easily. I'll go into that in a minute. This pattern is one I'm waiting for. I need some tubes for the Essentia that we're going to be getting. Victus, we have beef. It has 2 Victus in it. It also has some Bestia and some, I never remember the names. The pink one with the little thingy. Corpus, perfectly. So it's got some of that. Only got 8 of them, so I'm going to do that. The way to harvest Essentia is with this dude. So you put whatever you're burning down for Essentia in the arcane furnace. The Essentia bubbles up. It goes into these alembics. Each one can take 1 type of Essentia. You use Essentia tubes off of them to put them into these warded jars. The warded jars, I was not recording when I made them, my apologies, are made simply with glass panes and slabs. The labels are slime balls and paper. I'll show you those in a minute. And the last piece I need is the Essentia tubes to actually move them about. So let's put the robes on and see, and we can charge just a little bit of aqua. Don't quite remember how much I needed. I need 5. So that's gonna take a little bit longer. While we're waiting on that, let's read some more. We need a stone killer and a animal filter upgrade. I don't think I'm going to use these because I've got better things already, but while we're waiting, the stone killer is simply a furnace, a stone sword, and some smooth stone. I don't have a stone sword. That's okay, I can make one. And now I have a stone killer. And I need an animal filter upgrade, which is egg leather, redstone, wool stone. Yay. Okay. So let's claim that, get another spawn cow. Toss it in, and I'm going to go put this in the chest of kind of random, not quite sure what to do with them things. I should probably clean that up at some point, because some of them I do know what to do with now. Stone farming, let's say stone animal farmer, and a milker upgrade. can be used to breed mobs, shear milk, etc. Stone animal farmer. Of course, we need shears. Not animal filter upgrade. What did I want? Milker upgrade. Ooh, we need 2 milk buckets for that. So to do that, the easiest way will be to head down to where the milk is stored and pick it up. I'm headed down to do that, and won't take but just a second. There's the milk. We have the 2 buckets, and heading back up. Oh, wrong terminal. There we are. And now we have that. Again, probably not going to use it. So I'm going to toss it over there and wait for those that node to charge, and I'll be back once that's done. Alright, that is charged up. I went ahead and charged the wand up to 9, but hey, it's enough to build 8 Essentia tubes from this recipe that we set up earlier, which is again a quicksilver drop, gold nugget, iron, glass, and iron. But with that, we can now do this. So let's see. I'm going to have one come off that way, that way, that way, that way. Yeah, that'll be great. Toss that in there, grab some jars, grab some labels, grab some stuff to burn. Okay, so I've already loaded this with coal. I'm going to toss some more coal in there, and you can see the potentia is coming into this alembic. The ignis is flowing into that one. Now I'm not going to label these yet, and I'm going to show you what happens. Uh-oh. Ah. I right-clicked exactly on it, and so... Oh, that's my problem. I'd set this one out from the wall. This is going to be really irritating. Alright, let me just go ahead and put the potentia one there. It'll drain off of that alembic. Now watch this. I haven't labeled anything. So there's a chance, and it happened, now this alembic is doing ignis. And you can read lots about kind of the process it uses to figure out where the Essentia is going. But labels can fix that. So I'm going to right-click the labels, and now this alembic is only accepting ignis, this one is only accepting potentia, and I can place these jars to fill them up. It'll take 64 of each. You'll notice I put a half stack in there. Since each one has 2, I should end up with a full jar from each one. Like I may have planned that or something. So that's gonna run through, and you can see, this is slowly ticking up as this buffer here decreases. So that's going to run a bit. While that's running, let's see what else is in here. Rubber farm is completed. Let's claim some iron upgrades, which radius increase of 3. Tin upgrade is 2, iron upgrade is 3, copper upgrade is 4. So that's what we've been using. We put those in, and cool. Next up, containing the herd with a creature vat and a containment focus. You're only going to catch the animals with a wand, use the vat to infuse them with things. Okay. A wand focus containment, a modified runic matrix. I'm not going to deal with that yet. Factory farming, we need a planter and a harvester. Already did that. Plastic tank, claim reward. I kind of got ahead of this. Mob breeding. Breeder, grinder, and a rancher. I've made a rancher, several, and sewers. Okay, well I can make more. And it wants a precision sledgehammer. Okay. Pretty easy. The precision sledgehammer is basically a hammer pattern with plastic sheets. I don't know that that's going to be terribly useful to us right at this very moment. But, hey, we've got one if we need it. I'll toss the plastic tank in. And what else is going on? We need to make a breeder and a rancher at some point, but this is done, so I'm going to jump back over. Alright, so first things first, I'm going to label these jars just so I can more easily see what's on them, or what's in them. When I use them later. And I'll go ahead and store them just for fun. Next, I'm going to right-click with an empty hand, shift right-click, empty hand, and take those labels off. Yes, the labels are reusable. That makes me happy. And now I'm going to burn down this raw beef. Now you see there are 3 different types of essentia that comes off of this, so we're going to be using 3 alembics here. And again, label, 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 jar, jar, jar. And that's going to burn off for a little bit while we go back and build a breeder and a rancher. And I know I've done these before on camera, so I'm not worrying too much about them. Golden carrots. We're out of nuggets. The breeder I haven't done. We need purple dye, which is made with blue and red. Blue is lapis, red is floral red powder, rose red, which we get from poppies, and I think I have some poppies out here. So let me go get those. Those are tulips. Here we are. And I have some rose red and some poppy seeds. So we'll go back to having that. And that should give me some rose red. Except I already had some. Oh well. And lapis. Got a little bit. Enough, certainly, to make myself some purple dye. This is done. So as soon as I get this done, I have the breeder. And we need a rancher. Wow, I've even taught the system how to auto-craft that. Now, it may not detect it. That may be why it's not detecting it. So we just need shears. and we'll claim our reward of sewers. And since I'm not using those right now, I will just toss everything in there and go over here and find our 8 Bestia, 32 Corpus, and 16 Victus. Another round with the jar labels. Pretty sure these do not stack in chests once they're filled. We'll test that at some point because I'm sure there will be lots of things that I have excess of. Okay, we got all 3 back. Very good. Okay, back to the original goal, which was to make this egg. We need 2 Ignis and 2 Victus. You know what? I made this too complicated. I could have just tossed those things in the crucible. Oh well. This is more fun for some definitions of fun. The other thing we need is glass files. Clay and glass. Let's get that going. And we need clay balls. I really thought I had some. And that makes us some glass files. And we'll just do a few of those. So what's cool is we can take some of this Ignis. We can take some of this Victus, which are the 2 that we wanted. And now we've got 16 of each. And we've got a lot of these other Bestia, things we didn't really need in the Crucible and would just be wasted. Now they're not. So I'm going to fill one file with Ignis and another with Victus. Put these back away for safekeeping. And now I've got 8 of each that will go into the Crucible. We need 2 of each for this, so let's get 4 eggs. The eggs are not in the ME system. But I have quite a few of them. There's the 4. So when we toss this in, let's get everything ready. So we're going to toss in 8 of Victus, 8 of Ignis, and then 4 eggs, and hopefully get 4 of the other type of egg back. Let's try it. We've got 8 Ignis, 8 of the other. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Incubated eggs. Now let's see, that, if I remember correctly, does not make them friendly. It just makes them, yeah, it just guarantees that it will survive. So let's get some glass to repair. And let's go over here and put 4 more chickens in the pen. How about it? Alright, let's not fall in because those things are definitely hostile. Uh-oh. He may have gotten out. I'm going to go see if that chicken managed to escape. I threw him through the wall. Some kind of glitch. because visually he seemed to go through the wall. Now on radar I don't see him, although I do see that the mob trap seems to have gotten backed up. I'll go check on that in a minute. But okay, the chicken, it was probably just a visual bug. I don't see him as having escaped. All right, let's head back up, put the armor on, and actually, no, I'm not going to worry with the mob trap right now. They're contained. I'm going to keep questing. We got that one. Claim the reward of 8 more incubated eggs. Not going to deal with those right now. And that leaves us with multi-farms. Forestry's multi-block farm structure is another method of growing things you need. It requires a 3x3x4 structure in the center of a 21x21 space. It can be made even larger. The structure in the center will need farm blocks, a gearbox, etc., etc. This is another thing where I'm kind of happy with what I've got now. I'm probably not going to use it, but I am going to build it, or build the pieces just for completeness in the quest book. Let's see what else is going on, just because, okay, we've got a few more things to build all over the place. So I'm going to keep working in here. That's a Thaumcraft item. Let's build the farm gearbox, farm block, etc. Farm gearbox is a farm block, which uses a 10 electron tube, which uses a thermonic fabricator. Alright, quite a bit to do here. See, how are we doing on time? I'm going to check that and be back. I'm really trying to make episodes shorter, so I do not want to get into multi-farms. Let's go instead over here to the assembly line quest chain, and industrial waste is completed, which gives us a full heart. That's the sludge boiler that we already have. Yay, 11 lives. And next up, we need a meat packer. Okay, if you're using a slaughterhouse, you're probably a lot of ooey gooey liquid meat. I'm not, and I don't, but that's okay. The meat packager turns it into delicious meat ingots. I think delicious might, I don't know, meat ingots just doesn't sound delicious to me. But, whatever. Alright, we need redstone reception coil, machine frame, bricks, plastic, and a flux igniter. Interesting. Which is a leadstone capacitor, etc., etc. Yeah. How far down this chain? Okay. We've got our leadstone flux capacitor. We can make our flux igniter at that point. And then we should be able to make that. Oh, we need the bricks. That is kind of cool, but not what I was looking for. There we go. We have our meat packer, and if we need it, it'll be in the system. Claim it. 12 lives. Yay. One more item. Sewage is completed. We get 64 industrial fertilizer as a result. And organic fertilizer. Alright, we need a composter and a fertilizer block. Composter block is kind of neat. It makes compost, basically. It's kind of cool. We're going to need a machine frame and another plastic sheet. I wonder why I've never automated machine frame creation. Not sure. Also plastic sheets. Yeah, that's not right. Ah, it's a 2x2, not a 3x3. Alright, so I need to automate plastic sheets and machine frame. I'm just going to put that over there to remind me to do that off camera, because I've shown how to build auto crafting patterns. Composter is done, and the fertilizer blocks are cool. Basically, you can stick them on and have them automatically fertilize your crops. You need a ferrous gear for this. We need to pour nickel in. We'll need that. We'll need one of those. Alright, let's go craft this. So, if you recall a couple episodes ago, I made a apparatus over here that could automate gear production. So I toss 4 ferrous ingots in, and in a couple minutes I'll have a ferrous gear. While we're doing that, let's build patterns for plastic sheets. And for machine frames. Alright, there's my ferrous gear. So, to make a ferrous gear, I need to change this to a process pattern. I need 4 ferrous ingots. I get a ferrous gear, and encode that pattern. If we look at the pattern terminal, you will see this smeltery controller has all my gear patterns in it, so now it's got one more. And let's go build that machine frame pattern that we were just working on. It's a crafting pattern. There we are. So we can go in here, simply add these, and that clears up that. And then we're going to need another one, so I might as well start it. Alright, let's head back up, since we're crafting up there in the cool skylit Thaumcraft room. That ferrous gear should be done in just a second, and we'll have our fertilizer block. Let's watch the, we're going to get a sewage drum. Wow, such a FUD reward. Alright, we have the fertilizer block. It's in the system. It's done. Claim the reward, just out of curiosity. Oh yeah, it's full too. Well, that's okay. Let me get a fluiduct. A temperate fluiduct. I'll go ahead and add it to the group downstairs, just because it seems like a reasonable place to put all the sewage together. So we've got 2 full barrels of sewage, not quite a bucket of mob essence, but that's because we're not really dealing with that up here. We're dealing with that down at the grinder. Next up, the Tesseract. I think that would be a cool thing to end the episode on. So let's do that. To build a Tesseract, there's a couple of steps. You need an empty Tesseract frame, you need to fill it up, and then you put around some more metal around it to make a Tesseract. To make the frame, you need Enderium and hardened glass and a diamond. So, yeah, cheap there, right? And I thought I had told it how to make Enderium blend, but maybe not. Enderium blend is pulverized tin, shiny metal, resin ender. Tell you what, I'm going to go make some crafting patterns, and I'll be back. All right, just to show you what I was just finished building. We've got Enderium blend made from pulverized silver, pulverized tin, pulverized shiny, and a resident ender bucket. The resident ender bucket comes from the fluid transposer. Then the induction smelter takes the Enderium blend with some pyrotheum dust, which is also in the molecular encoder, and makes Enderium ingots. So, yay. Back to what we were doing. We need another Enderium, and we need some more hardened glass. Hang on. Yeah. So for some reason, the arcane terminals do not show crafting patterns. Not sure why. Let's go ahead and just build 4 of those. Let's just make sure, yeah, view stored or craftable, but for some reason I'm not seeing any of my craftable items on here. So we will wait for that hardened glass to show up. There we are. Almost there. And you can see we can do regular crafting. There's no vis requirement, so it's not doing anything. Now, to make the Tesseract, right, if you'll recall, we've made the first part now. We've made this guy. Next, we need to go to the Tesseract frame full, at which point we just need to put it in a fluid transposer to fill it with resonant ender. So I'm going to do that, and actually, we'll stay on. That's not going to take long. I'll work on automating all this in between episodes. All right, here's my resonant ender. We'll toss that in. Oh wow, how much does it take? It takes a bucket. I guess it's just really slow. Maybe because I built this on a basic machine frame, perhaps? I don't know. Right. Of course, it immediately pulled it into the system. But we have a Tesseract frame full now. And to build a full Tesseract, we combine it with silver, bronze, etc. Oh, I need one more bronze ingot. One more item, and then we'll have our Tesseract. I'll be back when that's done. Okay, that's done. There was no need to sit there and wait and just sort of talk and fill air with for the minute that took. So now we have a Tesseract. Oh, man. It wanted the Tesseract frame full. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I have my Tesseract frame full, and also, while I was doing it, the system now knows how to make a Tesseract frame and a Tesseract frame full. I haven't quite taught it how to make a Tesseract yet, but yeah, I need bronze. I will be teaching it that as soon as the bronze is done. But for right now, we can claim the reward of another full Tesseract. And that's kind of fun. I will probably, I'm sure, I will use those in an upcoming episode. So, anyway, didn't quite make it a shorter episode as I had planned, but did get quite a few things accomplished. We're closing in on the end of a couple of quest chains. This one has one thing left to do laser mining with the laser drill precharger, the laser drill, and some focuses. These things are very cool, but they need a lot of power. So before I build that, I would like to build this. But that's going to have to wait for another episode or two. Actually, we've got a lot of things that we need, but not quite enough yet. That thing is really power hungry. So anyway, hope you've enjoyed this. I'm glad to have gotten some of the questing done, and see you next time.